this is the place that I love, and I love being here, and I love these fans in the city, and this organization's been good to me, and I thought this is going to make me happy for a long time.
Cal, thank you for doing this. This is a unique look that we're going to have at a baseball team through your eyes. A unique look at you with what you choose to share with us. It'll be a little bit different every week, but really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah, thanks for allowing me to. It'll be fun.
We're going to talk about, as the year goes on, things that happen within the week. We'll talk about your pitchers. We'll talk about some fun things here and there, and this is all your fault. We have to start with you. You were the story last week, and a story that, people are just thrilled about. You talked about, you kind of dared to dream on that. I think a lot of fans dared to dream on it too. But when you kind of take a step back and such a big decision, I would love to hear a little bit more about your process and how you came to your decision.
Yeah, it was, it was a tough process. Kind of look at a different perspective, in the sense of, where I wanted my career to go and stuff like that, and being here long term, and in those regards, not really the money aspect. I think, the money's more than enough, and very grateful for it. And but yeah, it was just, the process of, do I want to be here long term? Do I want to test free agency? Do I want, to kind of lock it in right now? And it was you did have to think about it a little bit, and it took a while during spring training. And at the end of the day, this is the place that I love, and I love being here, and I love these fans in the city, and this organization's been good to me, and I thought this is going to make me happy for a long time. And that's kind of what the last thing I thought about was my happiness and quality of life, and this is where I want to be. So that's what I came to.
When did it all click that you could be happy here?
I'd say during that process. Obviously this whole ever since I've been up here in the big leagues, especially after that 22 season, my first season where I kind of came to. I really liked it here, enjoyed it. Never even knew that it could be a possibility to stay here long term like that. And obviously during spring training, once you kind of get close with the club and talks like that, that's kind of when it clicked. It's like, wow, this could really be a home for a long time, and somewhere where I can retire as well. So
what part it was, I really appreciate you spoke a little bit about Alvin Davis is there, Dan Wilson is there, P.R.O is there, and you saw how the fans treated they're heroes. This is their history in the organization. What part did legacy play for you?
It played a huge part. Yeah, guys like Edgar, AD, Dan, P.R.O, obviously, other guys like Felix as well. But those guys, one team, and they built a home here as well, and they built a legacy. And I think there are more important things than money out there, and that's also what came down to. And I feel like I got a good thing going here, and this organization has a good thing going as well. And grass isn't always greener on the other side. And at the end of the day, I wanted to do that for one organization, one team, and be committed to it, and really put all my eggs in this basket. So
how much of you is, you grew up a fan of baseball and of other sports. How much are you able to kind of see through the eyes of a fan?
I think I have a good perspective. I think what helps is I've been around baseball my whole life. Ever since I was born, my dad was a coach, and I grew up being the bat boy. I grew up going to games, college games, high school games, even some pro ball games, because my uncle was a coach as well in pro ball. So I kind of got to see all the different levels coming up as a kid, and you're there for the good and the bad. It's not always good times. There's a lot of bad times, and what fans want to see. How fans react to certain players. What what they respond well to, what they don't respond well to, and things like that. So I think it's given me a good perspective, and I'm very blessed, that I had that upbringing and have that kind of perspective as well.
Let's take it back to spring training, and this was a moment in your press conference where I was shaking my head at you. You probably have the best poker face on the team. You had a big secret. I mean, I'm not sure I've seen a secret kept that well, at least on the outside. And I love the way that you described it, that it really became real in spring training, and it got a little scary in a good way. And you said spring training was very different this year.
Yeah.
How did that impact you? I mean, did it hit you at different times? What part did that play in your spring this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was really different. It was honestly from the beginning of spring too. So, yeah, at first it was just, it didn't get a lot of time to myself because there's a lot of conversations going on and, a lot of stuff away from the field. More so in the past, it's, baseball, go home, relax, get up, do it again. And I felt like I was kind of bringing work home with me a little bit. So, but in a good way. Obviously those are good conversations, good things to do. So it was interesting. It was different, kind of, doing the business side of things. And I'm really thankful that, we were on the same page of getting this done before the season started and not letting it linger. And that was a big emphasis for me, going into it because I didn't want it to affect any of my playing.
Did your teammates know?
No. I may have had a conversation with one or two of them, really, really close and tight. But for the most part, not a lot of them knew about it. And, but, I did that, a lot of out of respect to the team and myself as well. And I didn't want to have any distractions going on and wanted guys to be able to focus and do what they do. So,
how important is it for you to have a voice? I think back to your comments at the end of 2 years ago, and it seemed like maybe a door was opened a little bit then. I was always curious what happened after that, because I see you having conversations and you take ownership, and it's hard to have ownership unless you can kind of do something about it.
Yeah. It's important, I think not only for, this organization and the city, but the guys in that clubhouse as well. I think that's where it starts, because obviously the product on the field is the most important thing at the end of the day. And you got to be able to have a voice, and you got to be able to back it up, and you got to be able to own it. And I feel like I've done a pretty decent job of that, and still trying to do my part and trying to help as much as I can. And now, obviously with what's transpired over the last week, I feel like I'm going to be here a while, and I want to continue to grow and continue to get better and continue to learn, and kind of grow that voice and help out as much as I can.
What's been your biggest learning in leadership?
I think one of the biggest things I've had to learn is, not every guy is the same or responds the same. And, you always said baseball, lots of different cultures, lots of different upbringings, lots of different types of people. Not all guys are the same. Not all the guys are going to respond the way I respond, or not all guys are going to respond the way a Logan Gilbert responds. So I think that's the hard part, but that's what, makes great leaders and great coaches and things like that, is they're able to communicate with all their guys and not just one type of guy. So at the end of the day, there's 26 different personalities, plus coaches, plus other guys, and we got to learn to mesh those and be able to control those and, still continue to grow like that.
We're going to get into those personalities. We've got 6 months to do it, no question about it. Yeah. Did you get your lineman presents?
No. I think it's the other way around, right?
I think you're right, but I mean, they're pretty insistent about this.
Yeah, they are.
Is it something small, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe. They said cars and watches, maybe like a little hot wheel or something like that.
There you go.
We'll think of something.
All right. We're going to leave with one current event question. Torpedo bats have been all the rage. Is there one around here anywhere?
I'm sure you will see some here in the near future. I'm sure those bat companies right now everybody's going crazy right now because, it's the fad, it's the thing right now. I look back a couple of years ago, axe handle was the thing,
right.
And Then it was the hockey puck or the knob, hockey knob, the puck knob was the thing for a while there. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of them. I mean, it makes perfect sense, you know. Anything you can do to get an edge in the game. It will be interesting to see those and if they play a role and if they help or not. So
You gonna try it out?
I think so. I think I'm willing to give anything a try. So try it out, and I think there's different models, you know, so they're not all the same, but I'm sure you'll see more and more as the year goes on, as the companies get more wood out to guys, and you'll definitely see it a lot this year.
All right, we'll catch up on that next week too. Cal, thank you.
Thank you.